I invited you out on my backyard in this rainy weather because I want you to start thinking scientifically about water conservation as we celebrate Earth Day. So the question is, how do we reduce our watering in the backyard and have all these plants still? What do you think?
Plant plants that don't need that much water.
Yeah, xeriscape.
That's right, plants that don't need a lot of water, the xeriscape technique. But I'm going to show you a way that you can plant plants actually using the same technology that they use in babies' diapers. Can you believe it? And I'll show you, but the way that we need to be able to see that is to cut it open and take some of the chemical out, and I'll show you what that looks like over here. Here, hang on to this.
Okay.
Now, if you take the diaper and you cut the diaper open and you remove the powder that's inside, Nicole, you get what you have in the cup right there. That's the polymer, or a long chain of molecules. It absorbs a tremendous amount of water, about 500 times its weight. So watch what happens. 3, 2, 1. I think it's done. Look at it. Upside down on my hand. Nice job.
Oh,
Like this. Do you see how all the water is now turned into the slush-like material, right?
That's amazing.
So now, here's what they thought. If you take this outside and you allow on a sunny day for the sun to beat down, the water does what? Evaporates, and the powder comes back. So that they said, why don't you put that in the ground? So now when the roots are thirsty, the roots can grow down, suck the water out, this turns back into the powder, and now you reduce the watering time. So if you go to a plant store or the tree store, you're not going to buy the baby diaper polymer, you're going to buy these super absorbent crystals at the plant store or the tree store. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to put those in the ground when you're gardening, but I want you to put water in it first, okay? So come over here and I'll show you what it looks like when the crystals get big. Now look, I only put about this much of the polymer down inside that bucket of water and I let it absorb. Take a look at it down there. Reach down and see if you can find any.
Whoa, that feels so weird. I didn't think anything was in there.
They're like jelly, aren't they? Little jelly crystals.
Are they just filled with water?
Yeah, it's just filled with water. In fact, that's almost 99% water. That's why it looks like it's invisible as it goes down inside.
And
it.
each one of these crystals is one of those.
It's one of those crystals there. It's just much, much bigger. And that's the stuff that we're going to put in the ground. So I have a plant over here. I've got shovels. Aren't you glad you get to work? We're going to move this away. We're going to plant, and I'll show you how to put the polymer in the ground. Ready? Let's go. Grab the bucket and bring it over here. We're using hydrated polymer, so it's already absorbed the water. And sure, just grab a couple handfuls and put them in.
Do you want to put them in when they're already mixed with water or when they're just dry?
We want them when they're already mixed with water. And for this plant, that seems to be just about enough. I bet you that's perfect. So now watch, I'm just going to mix that around in the soil. See how it's mixed around? And now we're about ready to put in our plant. So here's our little mugo tree. So set that down inside.
Perfect.
And we'll move some of this around. Now it's important to know that normally when the water evaporates from the soil, those roots would dry out and the plant would become very stressed. But because there's polymer crystals down inside, the plant roots can grow inside the polymer crystals and suck the water out and reduce watering time by like 80%.
Wow.
It looks like our little mugo plant's ready to go. The polymer's inside, so when it's thirsty, it's going to reach down the ground, remove the water from the polymer. It will shrink, but in and of itself, the polymer is non-toxic and it's environmentally safe. So this can sit in the ground for about 10 years and produce some great structure there for the roots. And when it biodegrades, it turns into things like water and carbon dioxide and tiny traces of ammonia. It's a wonderful way to save a tremendous amount of water. So as you plant your garden, use a little bit of science, and you'll do something great for the earth at the same time. We'll see you next week.
This is cool.
Yeah, great.